Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome to the Miracle Flight Deck, a Miracle Flights podcast.
Welcome back to the Miracle Flight Deck, a Miracle Flights podcast. My name is Nicole Padberg-Monkdale. I'm the multimedia producer here at Miracle Flights and also the host of the podcast. What we do here at Miracle Flights is we are a national children's organization. We fly children with illnesses to long-distance medical care. So we provide free commercial flights. My guest today on the podcast is Becky. She is the mother to Asher, who is our 2025 Child Ambassador. Welcome to the podcast, Becky.
Thank you so much for having me, Nicole. What a great opportunity to be here with you today and share our story.
Absolutely. So, first of all, tell me, how is Asher doing?
Oh my gosh, he's doing amazing. As you know, he recently got his trach out and he is just living his best life trach free, and it's been such a huge blessing to get to this point in our journey with him.
I have so many questions about that. Yes. But first, for people who don't know, can you explain briefly what Asher's medical condition is and what a trach is?
Yes, absolutely. So Asher was born 24 weeks, so micro-preemie, extensive medical history, several emergent surgeries. And through that process and those intubations, it ended up damaging his airway. So he developed something called a subglottic stenosis, which is basically just a fancy term for closure of the airway. Right. So his airway was nearly 100% closed, meaning there was no way for him to breathe. So we were life-flighted out of state to a hospital with specialists who put in an emergency tracheostomy.
Where were you life-flighted to?
So we were life-flighted from Las Vegas over to Salt Lake City in Utah to Primary Children's Hospital.
Okay, yes.
So there's no pediatric ENT here in Las Vegas that deals with airway abnormalities. So we were life-flighted over there. They did an evaluation. They saw he was basically breathing through about the size of a coffee straw. So very tiny little hole to breathe in.
That's incredibly
So very dangerous and scary.
Yes.
And he ended up coming home with a tracheostomy tube. So it's basically a hole, an opening in the neck that goes directly to the lung. So he had a tube in place that kept that hole open.
Right.
So that was basically his lifeline for about 2 years, was that tracheostomy tube. So it was a life-threatening condition.
And how old is he now?
He's 2.5, almost 3. He'll be 3 in February, which is crazy.
Okay, so you just mentioned that he got the trach out.
Yes.
And I've learned so much through your story, through Asher's story. There are things that people do that we take for granted that people with a trach can't do. So, for instance, you sent some pictures of Asher on vacation recently.
Yes, at the beach.
Which I didn't know that you couldn't go to the beach with a trach, but it can be a very dangerous situation, right?
The reason is because of the sand, the dust and the sand and the water. So when you have that hole, that opening straight to the neck, you have to be really careful about particles getting into the lungs. So we always avoided things where there was high winds, a lot of water or dust or sand.
That's right.
So after he did get his trach out, we did have to go celebrate and take him to the beach for the first time.
Amazing.
Let him play in the sand, and oh my gosh, he was in heaven. He loved it.
He has such a great smile. He's so
he just
cute.
loves life. I always say he's just so grateful to be here and be alive.
I
think he knows the journey that he's been through. And he is a fighter. He was determined to be here with us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's so wonderful to hear about that. And we have you on today because Asher is the 2025 Child Ambassador, and 2025 is coming to a close.
I know.
But don't worry about it. I know. And we're going to be passing, you're going to be passing the torch on to our 2026 Child Ambassador, who is Luna. We just had her mom, Sarah, on the podcast.
I have to tell you a funny story, Nicole.
Okay, tell me.
The day that Asher was born, there was another micro-preemie born an hour after him, a 27-weeker, and she's become close friends with us. It's his birthday twin, and her name is also Luna.
Oh, wow.
So during our NICU time, I had another mom with a baby named Luna that me and her became close friends, and it's Asher's birthday twin.
Oh my gosh, that and
not the same Luna, different Luna,
but the similarities don't end there, because you said that when you were life flighted to Utah's primary children's,
and that's where your guys' Luna was also cared for. So primary is a huge, they cater a lot to Vegas families because there's not a lot of specialists here.
Right.
Which is crazy because it's a pretty, big city. You would think that we had all the medical care here.
Right. But there is, I know that right now there's a new children's hospital being built. So things may change very soon.
Same hospital family as primary children. So Intermountain Health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So during your time or your family's time as the 2025 Child Ambassador, how was that experience for you?
Oh, it has been an absolute amazing experience. So not only have we been able to share our story with so many people and bring awareness to Asher's condition,
absolutely,
but we've been able to spread the mission of Miracle Flights and just get the word out to so many families that these kinds of services and opportunities exist.
Yes.
Because if you're in a place like we were where you kind of feel hopeless, where, where are we going to find these specialists? How are we going to be able to afford to get to these specialists? Mm-hmm. We didn't know these things existed. And so it's become a huge passion of ours to share that that Miracle Flights exist and that there is these opportunities and resources available to families.
And you have been a wonderful asset to the Miracle Flights family. We had you on. You actually conducted an interview with another Miracle Flights family member.
Another Asher.
That's
who
right.
Also had,
another similarity, parallel.
Also had airway and vocal cord abnormalities and had a tracheostomy tube. So it's been so fun to connect with so many families.
Yeah, you're great at it. Like if I ever need, if I'm not here and we need a podcast
if
host,
you need a substitute,
absolutely,
I'm happy to fill it.
Yeah, you can be my understudy for sure. I wholeheartedly agree. So, what is your advice to our incoming 2026 Child Ambassador, Luna, and her family, her mom, Sarah, who we often talk to?
Soak it up and enjoy all of these amazing opportunities. Enjoy being in the spotlight. Enjoy getting to share your story because you're really given a huge opportunity to have a platform, to be a voice, and to spread awareness about your guys' mission at Miracle Flights.
Right.
And it's just such a fun opportunity. So definitely soak it up. Take every opportunity that's thrown at you and just really enjoy it because the year is going to fly by.
It does.
And, it's one of the coolest things is all the friends and family who've been traveling throughout the U.S., sending us pictures from W.H. Smith saying, we saw Asher in the airport.
Oh, yes.
Or even people who've gone to different pools here in Vegas, opening magazines and seeing Asher's picture in
So
there.
you've gotten recognized.
Yes, many times. And that's been such a really cool experience.
You guys are superstars. I love it.
You've made us feel like superstars.
Well, you're very talented, too. You have a wonderful, effervescent personality, and we are so lucky to have you and Asher.
And it's also such a cool thing when you go through something so traumatic like this to be able to turn it into something positive. And I think that's really given our family so much, something to look forward to during such a time that was really traumatic for us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Everything you said is just is really quite amazing. Hopefully at some point we'll actually get you to meet Luna and Sarah.
I can't
to
wait
physically pass
the Miracle Flights torch,
which we don't technically have a Miracle Flights torch.
I think we need a
but,
torch. How can we make that happen?
Right?
Now that Asher doesn't have his trach, he can be around fire. That was the other thing. He couldn't be around candles or fire or flames with it. But now we can have a torch. So I think we need one.
See all of these little details that you just take for granted.
Yes. He's been loving taking baths lately. So while he had his trach, we couldn't fully submerge him in water because the risk of water getting into his lungs.
Yeah.
So now his new favorite thing is he's got all his little farm animal bath toys and he goes and throws them in the bath and he bangs on the bathtub. He wants to get in and play and be in the water and just be a normal kid. So it's
amazing.
It is. It's so, like you said, so many things that you take for granted as a parent.
Yeah, and one of the things I really love about working here at Miracle Flights is learning about your family stories, individual. you learn about medical situations, and you really start to appreciate the things that we all take for granted.
One of the things I always talk about during different interviews and things, the things that parents take for granted, most importantly, is being able to hear your child's voice.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people don't know this, but when you have a trach, most times you're not able to hear their voice.
That's right.
Because the trach is occluding. There's no air passing through the vocal cords. Well, he had airway reconstruction surgery in Boston last year, which was our first time flying with Miracle Flights. You guys actually made that possible for us to go get this big airway reconstruction surgery that was all the way on the other side of the U.S.
Right.
It wouldn't have been affordable or accessible to our family without you guys. So we're so appreciative for that. But during that healing process, when he was recovering from his airway reconstruction, his vocal cords became damaged in the process. So Asher actually has no voice. We've never really been able to hear vocalizations from him. So a big thing us parents take for granted is just even being able to hear your child cry.
Yeah.
You know, it's so devastating as a parent to look over in the crib and see your babies crying and not having heard them.
Yeah.
So that is something that I always like to advocate for, is that there are kids out there who just don't have a voice.
Yeah.
But we're hopefully in the future there will be some medical advances where we will have the opportunity to address the vocal cord damage. So, and we'll utilize Miracle Flights to get to that.
And we will be here for you. You and your family have been, again, a wonderful advocate for Miracle Flights and bringing so much attention. Big thank you to you and Asher and your entire family, your two other boys. You have 3 boys.
They always say Asher's famous. My son Ryder, the middle-aged one, he told all his friends at school, Asher was on the big screen at the movie theater.
That's right.
Smiles with Miles.
That's right. Smiles with Miles. That's very
He said, my
true.
brother's famous.
And everything that we're talking about, I will link below in the description. We have plenty of videos. There is the video of Becky interviewing Charlene. They are both mothers to Asher's. There's also the wonderfully touching video that your husband wrote a letter on Father's Day to future Asher, and a number of other things. I mean, we've got clips of you from last year's soiree. Thank you, Becky, so much for being on the podcast and chatting with us. I know we'll have you on again.
Oh, I can't wait. Thanks for having us here today, Nicole. And I'm so excited for Luna to take on the torch and take on this role as ambassador. She's going to have so much fun.
Absolutely. Thank you, Becky. And thank you so much for listening to the Miracle Flight Deck, a Miracle Flights podcast. Please visit our website, miracleflights.org. If you know of somebody, or if you have a child in your family that needs a flight, you can request a flight there. You can also donate there, or if you'd like to, volunteer your time. We have wonderful, wonderful events where you can volunteer your time. Speaking of which, we have Soiree coming up in 2026. That's an incredible event. Again, thank you so much for listening to the Miracle Flight Deck. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and share the video. You yourself can help bring awareness to the mission of Miracle Flights simply by sharing our video. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
We know you have many choices when listening to a podcast, and we thank you for choosing the Miracle Flight Deck.